Ральф Фюкс, пожалуйста.
Что?
Все? Ральф Фюкс уже следующий. Все. Вы закончили?
Все, мне кажется, этого достаточно.
Да. Ральф, пожалуйста.
Just two brief remarks. I was quite enthusiastic about Balint Magyar's contribution because of two reasons. The first one is that obviously we are still looking for an adequate analysis and modeling of the kind of political economic system which has emerged in most of these Central Eastern European states and in Russia itself over the last decades. The starting point is, of course, that the old idea that there is a kind of catch-up development. Eastern Europe is becoming like the West, or like the West has been, this combination of liberal democracy and market economy. This is gone. The development changed into a different direction, and now we have to deal with a new systemic competition. Systemic competition is back between liberal democracies and authoritarian regimes, and a very specific merger of political and economic power. Authoritarian political power which goes along with the control of the economic assets of these countries. And we still, our terminology is provisional. Is it mafia state, kleptocracy, a new kind of feudalism? Anyhow, I think this specific mix of political and economic power, this is totally key to understand the character of these regimes and the link between this economic political model and the foreign policy of these regimes, which up to now has not been discussed. And the second remark is on China and Russia. Obviously, there is a fundamental difference between these two regimes. And on the long run, China is the much more, I would say, dangerous challenge to liberal democracies than Russia is today, in spite of, I would say, the destructive impact that Russia has on democracies in the West. Because China, for the first time, managed to combine two characteristics which for a long time we thought could not go along with each other. Totalitarian control over the society and kind of hardcore authoritarianism, and economic dynamics, innovation-based economic dynamics. And this is obviously totally different from Russia. Russia is kind of authoritarian rent-seeking economy. It's a fossil empire, and the economic model, the business model of Russia is running out, definitely running out within the next 10 to 20 years. China is different. China has created a new model, and for a lot of emerging countries, not only in Asia but also Africa and Latin America, this could be an alternative to liberal democracies, because the promise is prosperity and stability without democracy.